So welcome everyone. My name is Kyle Hershey. I'm the COO of the Mortgage Calculator, and I'm joined here by our sales manager, Jose Gonzalez. We are a correspondent lender that does things a little bit differently, and that's what we're going to talk about here today. Now, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and go over a little presentation here of how everything works and talk about the comp plans. Then I'll do a little short demo of the back end of how everything works. And then our sales manager, Jose, with 28 years of experience, will talk about how that all comes together to close loans and the type of support that we have here. And then we will go ahead and open it up to questions. So let's go ahead and get into it here. So this is our join page here. Some of you may already came here before, excuse me. But we'll go over some of these things that make us different here. So again, we are a non-delegated correspondent lender. We have set up this model at different, we had it at an FDIC bank, we had it at a brokerage, we had it as a delegated lender, and we found that non-delegated correspondent works the best. So we are a non-delegated correspondent lender, and we are very much based on our technology, as it says here, and our leads. So we'll go in and talk about that here shortly, and I'll actually show you an example of some leads coming in. Now, we are brokered and correspondent, meaning that we are a correspondent lender, so we can do loans with us as the lender. We're always going to get better pricing when we are the lender because we're funding the loan ourselves with our own money. Our name is on all the documents and all that kind of good stuff. But we can also always broker loans. So we can broker any loan that any other brokerage in the country can broker, right? But we also can be the lender, which is a big advantage there. We have over 5,000 loan programs where we are the lender with our 34 different correspondent investors. And then we have tens of thousands of loan programs between our other 80 plus lenders that we can broker through as well. So over 5,000 loan programs where we're the lender, and then essentially unlimited loan programs that we can broker out. We're always going to get the best rates and pricing correspondent. It's always going to beat broker pricing because, again, we're funding the loan with our own money. So big advantage there. Another great advantage of correspondent is that there is no commission cap. So when you're brokering loans, your commission may be capped at, 10,000, 15,000, no matter what the loan size is. Well, as correspondent, there is no cap. We actually just paid out a $25,000 commission this last pay period. So you're definitely able to make more than if you were a broker. We have every program out there: FHA, USDA, VA, Fannie, Freddie. We have non-QM. We have all the bank statement, asset utilization, foreign national, I-10, DSCR, which is our favorite product. We have commercial, mixed use, CDFI, no ratio, SBA loans, and thousands of other loan programs, fix and flips, ground up construction. If there's a loan program out there, you name it, and we have it. And then we also have our AI assistant, which is built into our whole system that you'll see here. And that is definitely something that can help you. Now let's talk about our technology here. Everything that you see that we have, we've built ourselves from the ground up. We've built every line of code in this. It's not based on some other software. This is 100% our proprietary technology built for us, by us. So it does exactly what our loan officers need to be successful and streamline their business. So you all get an instant lead generating website. With your AI assistant built in. It's also a POS, CRM, and LOS all built into one. So essentially what that means is one login for you and one login for your client, right? Your clients can literally come in from being, a name, email, phone number to literally seeing live rates, completing their 1003, pulling their own credit and liabilities. They can do all that themselves before you even touch the file, right? So that's how streamlined the system is. We have 50 plus API integration. So, we use Encompass, but it's inside of our system, right? You don't have to log into Encompass. And we use Optimal Blue for pricing, Meridian Link for credit, Account Check for VOI, VOA. And so all of these things, appraisal works. We have 5 AMCs at the click of a button. You can choose which one works best for your scenario. So these are all built in here through our system. So you're still using a lot of programs, that you're used to, such as Encompass or Optimal Blue or, Meridian Link, Account Check, these type of things, but they're all integrated into one system, which again means one login for you and one login for your client. Our loan officers instantly get custom business cards and flyers with your picture on it and all your info, that those are cleared by compliance to post and use. We also capture leads from your websites. Even if somebody doesn't sign up on your website, we can still capture that lead and we send it to you with their information. And here's something great too. We handle your social media posting and lead gen if you would like. So all you have to do is connect your social media profile to our CRM on the back end, and we automatically post compliant content every single day. And when we post it, it links to your website. So it's a self-generated lead for you, right? So those especially that may struggle with social media or not post enough, we're automatically posting cleared, compliant content that's engaging for your clients onto your social media, and you don't have to do anything. And we have our proprietary dual Oz. Our Calvin AI will not only run dual automated underwriting for you with the click of a button, but Calvin will analyze it and tell you which one is better, whether it's DU or LP. And so he's going to not only run the DU and LP for you simultaneously, but also analyze it and give you the pros and cons of going each different route. And what's really cool is we have our full-time development staff. So we're always implementing new features because, again, this is our system. So we do have a board on the back end where our loan officers can post on this bulletin board ideas for the CRM. People can vote them up. And so we take all of our loan officers' feedback and we're constantly launching new features to our software. Now, the next bullet points here, we're talking about our training and support. So one of the things we noticed when we used to be at a bank and then used to be at a brokerage, there was a complete lack of training documentation, all that kind of stuff. So we're very big on training. Everything here is remote based. So we have our remote based learning center. We have daily live trainings. We do multiple trainings per day that are live. We have thousands of recorded trainings. We also do our podcasts daily that you can tune into, where we go through different loan types and pull live rates. We have 2 days a week. We have a loan officer training podcast as well. We have sales training podcasts. So we have both public trainings that you can tune into every single day, and also private trainings every day that you can tune into that are only for our team. We also have our live support Zoom room. This means that you can pop into our Zoom room anytime during business hours, and we have our team in there, our staff and our processors, so that if you need any help with anything, you can get face-to-face with them. They can, you can share your screen, see what's going on. If you're getting an error, they can help you fix it. So during business hours, you're just one click away from being face-to-face with one of our staff members, and you can also talk to the processor, the closing department. They are all there during business hours and just one click away from you to get face-to-face with them. So much better than just having a phone number to call, right? You just click a button in your CRM and boom, you're face-to-face with our staff. We also have our knowledge center that has thousands of videos and articles from us and our partners. And we have our Calvin compliance bot as well that can help you search regulations. And he's pretty witty with letting you know what you can and cannot do. And then the last bullet points here are just some things that separate us here. The ability to close DSCR business purpose loans in 44 states. So we are licensed in 23 states to do any type of loans. And then we also have the ability to do business purpose loans, which is our favorite type of loan, in 21 other states. So when you come on board, you can obviously do any type of loans in the states you're licensed in. And then there's another 21 states where you could do that loan if it's a business purpose. And we give you plenty of business purpose leads, which we'll talk about in a little bit. We give you unlimited leads at a 50-50 split. I'll show you how those are coming in here shortly. We do automated lead generation at scale. That's what we're all about. Our other partner, Nick, who's not here today, and myself, we come from a marketing background and a lead generation background. So we provide leads. That's our big thing here, is leads and technology. We can also help you set up your own lead campaign. So if you want to go above and beyond just the leads we're giving you, we can help you with that. You can bring in leads from anywhere else that you may purchase them. Another cool thing is you can refer deals. If there's a reason you can't do a deal, you can always refer it to a teammate. You just click a button in our system. It goes to one of your teammates and you make 75 basis points because it was your deal from the beginning. But maybe it was in a state you're not licensed in, or a loan that you don't know how to do that type of loan, whatever it is. It's just a click of a button away to have somebody else come in and help you, and you still make 75 basis points. We do have instant payroll available. We have no monthly fees, no tech fees, no desk fees, no monthly fees at all of any kind. So there are no fees to join. There's no monthly fees. Everything you see here is very straightforward. And then the last cool little thing here, again, we do our year-end conference. All of our producing loan officers get a free hotel room in Miami in December, where we have all kinds of speakers come in and different networking events and a VIP yacht party with free food and drinks and stuff like that. So that's our opportunity to actually meet you all in person. The whole team comes down and we have a great time there at our year-end conference. So let's go ahead and get into the comp plans. Now, here's a replay of the video on this page in case you drop off, but let's talk about the compensation plan. So senior loan officer will start here. This is what you will all be eventually. 200 basis points is the compensation, or 2% for those that may not be familiar with basis points. That's on conventional and non-QM. They're slightly different for, things like, HELOCs and stuff like that. But on most of the stuff we're all used to here, 200 basis points. And then if we give you a lead, it's a 50-50 split, right? So if you take a company lead, it'd be 100 basis points. And of course, you can originate both brokered and correspondent loans. You, as a senior loan officer, you receive the referral. So again, if there's a loan you can't do because you're not licensed in that state, or you don't know how to do it, or whatever the case may be, when you refer that loan, it's going to go to a senior loan officer to do. So these are much more than leads. When you get these are actual referrals of deals that are already set up and ready to go. And it comes with essentially a person helping you on it, right? Which is who referred you the lead. So they're going to get the cream of the crop there. Of course, you have unlimited access to all the leads. Now, you can get a 25 basis point monthly bonus for 2 million plus. So what does this mean? If you do over 2 million in a month, the rest you get 25 basis points more on, right? So anything over 2 million, you'd be getting 225 basis points on. Anything above 5 million, you'd be getting 250 basis points on, right? So some little incentive bonuses there. And then the last point here is that once you're a senior loan officer, you could also upgrade to a team leader. So what does that mean? That means you help your team of loan officers structure their files, disclose their files with them, essentially be somewhat of their mentor, and you make 25 basis points from the people on your team's production. So great way to kind of, expand there and move up as you go, from being a loan officer to, if you want to, building your own team and making basis points off of them for helping them do their files. Now, how do you get to be a senior loan officer? There's courses on our back end that you need to pass, right? So you do need to pass the tests to become a senior loan officer, because it's pretty difficult to originate correspondent loans. So everyone who comes on board is going to come on board as a loan officer. So what does that mean? You make 150 basis points on your conventional and non-QM. If you take a company lead, it'd be 75 basis points. So this is where everyone is going to start. That means you can broker loans, but you cannot originate correspondent until you take the senior loan officer exam. So I hope it's not confusing, but just understand when you first come on board, you need to be able to, pass the senior loan officer test to make sure you know how to originate correspondent loans before you become a senior. So there's no minimum amount of loans you need to close to move from a loan officer to a senior. It's just if you know what you're doing enough to pass the test, right? So if you're an experienced loan officer, you come in right off the top, pass the senior test, then you're fine and you're making 200 basis points, right? But most people come in and do some loans as a loan officer. That way they have more assistance with it, with their team leaders helping them, and be able to then pass the senior loan officer test. So anyhow, loan officers come in 150 basis points, 75 basis points on company leads. You can come in, you'll start brokering loans, and of course, you have access to everything that anyone else does, and you can refer deals to the seniors as well if there's some reason that you can't do it. Maybe it's not a brokered loan, maybe it's correspondent and you haven't passed the correspondent test yet to become a senior, you could always refer it, right? So essentially here, when you come on board, you can broker loans and you can get going, but in order to actually do correspondent loans, which are much more difficult, there is an extra test to pass. Once you do pass that, you can do brokered and correspondent loans and make 200 basis points as a senior loan officer. So now let's go ahead and I'm going to show you a little demo here of the back end. So let me come here, pull up the CRM. So this is our CRM on the back end, just doing a little preview here for you, pointing out a couple features. Of course, you take your notes and send your emails and texts through here. We also have our Calvin AI assistant who can create the emails and texts for you automatically. Of course, you can set follow-up tasks, reminders. You can put people on action plans, drip campaigns to automatically email them and text them over the course of years from you, right? So all of that kind of good stuff. But what really starts to separate our system from others is our cool quoting system. So this is the back end here with just a few pieces of information. You can press one button and pull the pricing from all of our different investors, all of their price sheets, select the rates you want to show to your client, and within 2 minutes, you can send an email and a text through the system to your client with a nice, pretty quote that looks like this, shows them their rate choices. They can scroll over these things and see what they mean. It pulls in the Google map of the property automatically. It pulls in the Zestimate of the property automatically, the proposed loan info here, the monthly breakdown automatically of the taxes and insurance and the estimated lender fees. And then of course you here as the loan originator, and you can also attach your realtor to these quotes. So your realtor partners, they absolutely love this. They know when they send you a client, not only can you quote them within minutes, but you're going to send them a nice professional quote. It keeps the realtor in the loop and it keeps them in front of their client's face saying, hey, we are your team that's pushing this deal across the finish line. Once you do this with the realtor, they're not going to want to send business anywhere else because they're not getting involved in this cool quoting system and having their face up there on it and stuff like that, right? So it is a great tool to use. Now, the coolest part about all this is that your client can just click Start My Loan Application right here on the quote. And what that does is takes them to their borrower portal, which looks like this, where they can start their loan application. They fill out their 1003 right here in our system. They don't need to leave. It's going to prompt them to upload the basic documents we're going to need for that loan type. They can see their loan info here. They can see the milestone of where their loan is at, which of course updates automatically as you go through your loan process on the back end, right? And they can communicate with you through here as well. So this is the borrower portal that they see on their end. Now let's look at what it looks like on your end once they're moving forward and starting their application. Notice here, this is just a test file here. The application, it would show as they go through. Of course, this one's 100% complete here as this test. You can see the documents that they're uploading. You can help them upload those documents. You can also request documents through here, whether it's you or your processor. You can say, you know what, I need the business tax returns for the last 2 years. boom, and now it's going to ask the client for that, and they can just upload it in their borrower portal. You could also request like, hey, this isn't going to be a conventional loan anymore. It's actually going to be a DSCR. And I'm going to apply that. And then that's going to only request the documents needed for that loan type. So I don't know all of the documents that you need for every different loan type, but the system does. So it can send them the packet of whatever documents we actually need for that actual loan type. You can also request signatures. It's going to prompt them when they log into their borrower portal to sign whatever signature that you're asking for here. And of course, we have our e-sign built in. They don't need to leave the page to do a legal e-sign. It's all built in here to our software, so they don't have to log in anywhere else. Now, once your client has completed their application, we instantly and automatically pull credit. So once they submit their full 1003, of course, it asks them for authorization to pull credit. And so we pull credit instantly and we pay for it up front, right? So you don't have to pay for it up front. The client doesn't have to pay for it. We pull the credit instantly and automatically. So that way, when you come into our Encompass API here, again, we're opening our Encompass API, but we're not logged into Encompass. We're just doing this all from our system. So when we open our Encompass tab here, not only is the full 1003 information already filled in, but the credit is already pulled, liabilities are already imported, everything is already here for you to originate the loan. And as I said before, we have our dual automated underwriting here, where one button you can click order DO and LP or DU, whichever you want to call it, and that will do them automatically side by side, and then our AI will do an analysis and tell you which one is better to use for your situation. Now, throughout the process, we have our Calvin AI Assist button where our AI assistant can order your VOA, VOE, VOI, request insurance, request title, file COCs, and all this kind of stuff. Our system is there to help you with. Now, once you've originated the loan, right, and now you're in underwriting, our underwriting conditions are all in here as well. So the underwriter is going to request the conditions. You're going to get an email that says, these are your conditions. And you just log in here, and right here on this same page, you can just come in here and upload the document to fulfill the condition. You could also dispute the condition, which will kick it back to the underwriter that you disputed it and for what reason. So you'll see here all the way through the process, even through underwriting, everything is here in this one system. So this is how we take a lead from being just a name, email, phone number to communicating with them in our CRM, to quoting them, to gathering their 1003, gathering their documents, pulling their credit, originating the loan, and also, even uploading the underwriting conditions and everything right here in this one portal. Again, one login for you and one login for your client. So now let's talk quickly about where these leads come from in the first place. Well, most of the leads that we're giving you are going to be from our ad campaigns that we have running, right? So somebody sees our ad for a specific program, they click on it, they double opt in to be contacted, and then you're sent a text message immediately so that you can claim that lead. So I'll show you just a little screenshot here. This is just a couple of hours here on my test profile. Notice we have national business purpose leads coming in, some general mortgage requests. We even have referrals here, which means this is a DSCR lead here that somebody already spoke to, has a deal structured, and they're referring it because maybe it's in a state that they can't do, etc. Right? So you'll see these are coming in all day. This is just a couple of hours. So all day, you're going to be getting these text messages from our system, which are hot, fresh leads from our ad campaigns. Now, let's talk about the other ways that we provide you leads here at the Mortgage Calculator. Another way that we provide you leads is our auto dialer. So we have an auto dialer, works just like any other auto dialer. You can call 300, 400, 500 people in a day. You can press one button to drop an automated text and email to them from you. If they don't answer, you can press a button and it texts them, hey, it's Kyle from the Mortgage Calculator. I just tried to call you about your purchase or your refi or whatever type of lead it was, right? So that's all automated, all happens with the click of a button. You call hundreds of people in a day, dropping automated to text message emails instantly there. Now, we provide you the leads in here. So notice we have, these are actual leads from our ad campaigns, purchase leads. We have refinance leads in here. We have foreign national leads in here. We have short-term rental leads, DSCR leads. We have realtor lists in here for you to call of different realtors to build those realtor relationships. We have cold call lists in here if the other type of leads have ran out. So we always have leads to call here in our system. Not only do we provide you the auto dialer, but we provide you the leads already there in the system. Another way that you can work leads in our system here is that you can purchase your own lead campaign. So what this does is allows us to copy our lead campaigns of those leads that we give you at a 50-50 split. We can copy those exact campaigns because we know that they work, and we can put your budget on them. That way those leads go to you without a lead split on them, right? So we're going to give you leads for free all day at a 50-50 split. But if you want to increase your pipeline even more and increase your pipeline with deals where you don't pay a lead split on them, that is when you can have us run a campaign for you. Now, another way that you can work leads in our system is to import leads. So if you're already buying leads from Zillow or Free Rate Update or something like that, you can use our webhook here that we give you to bring them into our system instantly. So let's say you're getting leads from Free Rate Update. You put our webhook in there. Now, every time you get a lead from Free Rate Update, it pops into our CRM. Our CRM sends you an email and a text message immediately saying, hey, you just got this lead from Free Rate Update, call them and quote them, etc., all in our system, right? So whether it's leads that we're giving you at, for free, or leads that you're purchasing, or leads in our auto dialer, or leads that you're purchasing from anywhere else, they can all come into our system the same exact way, instantly, automatically. You're notified via text. That way you can call them and quote them and do all that kind of stuff there. Now, the last thing I do want to touch on, which is not an actual feature of the CRM, but I do want to talk about the fact that if you come here to the join page, right, where we just were, if you scroll down, not only can you see our story here of how we started and what we stand for, but you'll also notice we were named the number 26 on the best places to work in the whole United States 2024 by Glassdoor, which is the employer review website. So that was pretty cool. We just got that award last week, number 26 on the best places to work in the US for all small and medium-sized companies. So you can check that out. Click here, check out the list. And you can also come down here and see different reviews on Google and Glassdoor and Indeed, and check that out too. So definitely you can do your research there as well. Let me go ahead and stop sharing my screen though, and I'm going to turn it over to Jose here to talk about how all this comes together to actually close loans. So Jose, if you're ready, Jose is our sales manager, 28 years of experience as both a loan officer and a realtor. So quickly, Jose, let's just talk about how this all comes together to close loans and the support that we provide our loan officers here.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. Really hoping that you all like what you see. I'm sure you do, and will be joining us soon. So at the Mortgage Calculator, as you can see, we're all about support, technology, leads, right? You saw the amazing leads program and technology that we have. It's just a matter of time before you start getting those submitted loan application emails. So we definitely don't want anybody to spin their wheels, lose traction, and not get started as soon as possible. So let me break down to you all the different ways that you can obtain support at the Mortgage Calculator. The first one is the Knowledge Center. The Knowledge Center is a digital version of digital indexing of everything that we do at the Mortgage Calculator, right? PDF documents, videos, a whole lot of training. I mean, all you do is go to the Knowledge Center, type in a keyword in the search bar, and in less than a second, you'll get all the articles in a knowledge center that pertain to that topic. So for example, you're going to meet with your team leader to get a non-delegated file disclosed. It would probably be highly recommended that you go to the knowledge center, type in disclose or disclosing or disclosure, and see all the articles that come up pertaining to disclosing files to make sure that your file is as complete as possible. I mean, we have all sorts of guidance there, points and fees tests, compliance, ordering this, I mean, anything that you can think of is in there, right? And then should you need some clarification on any topic that you find in a knowledge center, then you can easily go into the Zoom room, for example. Kyle mentioned the Zoom room, which is manned by our in-house processing staff during work hours. So you can jump into the Zoom room and get quickly taken care of. No need to make an appointment, go in there, tell them what you need, what you don't understand, show them what you read, and ask them for some clarification. They can usually help you out. Very knowledgeable processors, over 20 years experience. You heard me mention team leader. Everybody, once you are cleared to originate that you complete your training, will be assigned to a team leader, right? As a mentor program. Your team leader is your primary point for support for structuring your loan. So as soon as a loan application gets submitted by one of your borrowers, you get an email letting you know loan application has been submitted. Team leader also gets that email. Management gets that email. We all get the email and immediately are going to be replying to that email after we review the loan and give you some pointers. We're going to break down credit, income, assets, and property for you, give you some quick pointers, because that way you will be ready for your meeting with your team leader, because within 24 hours of a loan application being submitted, your team leader is required to meet with you and you're required to meet with them. You'll schedule a meeting over Zoom. You'll discuss your file, you'll break it down, you'll get structure assistance, right? All these topics we spoke about, credit, income, assets, property, to make sure that you've selected the best loan option for your borrower and that you're getting off on the right foot. Because, if these loans get off on the incorrect trajectory, it's very tough to bring them back into alignment. So, team leader reviews your file with you, and then you go and work on your loan file, get it ready for disclosure. Now, if it is a wholesale file where we are the broker, then you will meet with your team leader to review that file. And after they reviewed it with you, they give you the green light to disclose. You go to the lender's portal, upload that file, and get it disclosed. Now, if it is a non-delegated file where we are the lender, then we will disclose that file in-house. You will also meet with your team leader, and once a file review is complete and everything, you're given the green light, your file will be disclosed right then and there, and you'll have the opportunity to sign your portion, which is the application, right? The actual 1003. And you obviously let your borrower know to be on the lookout for that email so they can sign their documents and complete the loan disclosure. Once that loan disclosure is complete, your file then gets assigned to our intake department, where our intake processor will complete all sorts of functions, right? Fraud guard, flood cert, OFAC check, MLOS verification. They run through a whole series of checklists. And once that is complete, they will register your loan on the portal of your choice, right? You would have noted that in the file where that file is to be submitted. And once that is complete, then they will also submit your file to underwriting, unless there's a note not to submit it because you may be pending some documents. They'll submit it to underwriting right then and there. And then it will be assigned to one of our internal processors. The internal processors then will be on the lookout for the approval from the investor, because once they receive the approval, they will then synchronize all the conditions on the approval to our LOS and to the CRM. and then you will be alerted that your loan approval is in. Check out your conditions and start working together with your loan processor to compile the conditions and resubmit the file back to underwriting for the clear to close. And once you do get that clear to close, then we have a closing department which will take over, issue CD, work with our fulfillment company, which are the attorneys that review our files for final compliance before we issue the documents. Very important. And then they also deal with the funding authorization on our files, and then your loan will close, and then you'll have a happy closing, right? So looking forward to assisting you all the same way that we assisted one of our newly minted MLOs, to give you a prime example on how this type of really involved support can help newly minted MLOs. We had one of our MLOs, she got a lead from her own lead campaign that she purchased from us, right? So this is 100% her commission on it. No lead split there with a referral or anything like that. But it was a difficult deal. It had been declined through another lender who she was working with. They tried to push it as full doc, but obviously that wasn't going to work. So initially our MLO was trying to, again, review tax returns, trying to do full doc, maybe bank statements. So we had our Zoom meetings, reviewed all the documentation, and realized that full doc definitely wasn't going to work. And bank statement was not going to work either because of large deposits that were not going to be able to be documented. So the best option for this loan was a profit and loss loan. Not an easy loan, but we gave her lots of guidance. She obviously met more than one time with me for the support on this one. Probably met like 4 or 5 times on this loan as I walked her through the process, because this loan also had an appraisal transfer that had to be done. So this was like a double whammy, right? But happy news on that was that the loan closed with a successfully transferred appraisal in a little bit over 3 weeks. It was $1,056,000 loan, and you do the math, she got 1.5% of that, so roughly $16,000 on her first loan. Not too shabby, right? And that was possible because of the guidance and support we gave her. Because if not, she was already going to go on an incorrect tangent, looking at bank statements, trying to put the square peg through the round hole as a full doc, and it was just going to go down the same beaten path that had already gotten the file rejected. But with the mentorship program that we had, instead of another denial, she had an approval and $16,000 in her bank account. So we definitely, and there's many more success stories like this from our new MLOs jumping into the world of non-QM and increasing their lending footprint exponentially. And we're definitely looking forward to having you all on board also and help you increase your loan production.
All right, so let's talk about the next steps here. So I'm going to screen share one more time. The next steps, you can go to themortgagecalculator.com/join when you're ready to join. Excuse me. And you're going to sign up here. It's going to take you to fill out a form. And then it's going to take you right to sign the compensation agreement to join. Now, you don't need to sign it right then. It's also going to email you a copy, so don't worry. You can take your time to look it over. But once you do sign that initial agreement, that's what kicks off all of the next steps of us collecting your employment identification and sponsoring your license and the MLOS and all that kind of stuff. So first step, go to themortgagecalculator.com/join, sign up here. Once you do sign that initial agreement, we will reach out with all of the next steps. I will go ahead and drop the link in the chat there as well, but it is pretty easy. It's themortgagecalculator.com/join.